My name is Cody Danielson. I'm a petroleum engineer working with Oildigger Resources, LLC, and I'd like to take some time today ahead of 2021 NAPE Summit to talk to you about a very exciting drilling opportunity that we have in the Powder River Basin of Wyoming. Before we get into all the excitement, just want to have a quick disclaimer page. I just wanted to let you know that anything that we're going to be seeing today in this presentation are forward-looking statements, and essentially none of this guarantees any kind of investment return or anything like that. All pretty standard boilerplate legalese. So let's just jump right into it. What are we here talking about? What we are looking for are working interest partners with a $250,000 minimum investment to help us drill and complete a single-mile Turner horizontal well later on this year in 2021. Oildigger Resources will be delivering an 80% net revenue interest with a third for a quarter promote. This well will be located amongst 8 active Turner wells in an area with deeper prospective formations. And not only do we feel like this project is primed to take advantage of the favorable commodity pricing that we have right now, but we also want to take advantage of the significant tax advantages allowed to oil and gas development projects, some of which came about with the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Some of these tax benefits include full deduction of both your tangible and intangible drilling and completions cost, as well as depreciating your production from your reserve base. We expect some pretty strong cash flows and fairly low drilling and completions costs. All that kind of culminates in a payback time expected in under 1 year. And the plot in this slide, we assumed a Texas resident, as this NAPE show will be shown in Houston as it is every year. In this specific example, we show a $250,000 investment with both your net income as well as your tax savings. We project net benefit to the investor of almost $500,000. This project rests on 3 main pillars, or the 3 T's as we like to call them. The first T is the team, with a proven track record in drilling and completing Turner wells. The second T is the technical details. We have very low geologic risk, favorable commodity pricing, and cost-effective depth. And the third T is the taxes. For working interest investors, this may be one of the most important T's. Oil and gas development projects, as we saw on the previous slide, are subject to some very enticing tax deductions, and these tax deductions start to wind down a little bit in 2023. So we're trying to take advantage of not only strong commodity pricing that we're seeing right now, but also be able to really take full advantage of the U.S. tax code. Our fearless leaders, Darren Gallahan and Doug Rubick, they are both licensed professional petroleum engineers with bachelors in petroleum engineering from Montana Tech. Both of them have around 15 years of experience. Darren has about a decade in the Powder River Basin, and Doug has a little over 5 years in the Powder River Basin. Both Darren and Doug worked with Ballard Petroleum as an integral part of the team that helped develop their K-Bar Turner asset, which generated over $125 million in value. This slide kind of shows an overview of the K-Bar asset, where Darren and Doug really got to get the bulk of their Turner completion experience. You can see we created a total value of nearly $140 million. And in the lower right corner of the slide, you can see the K-Bar asset highlighted in red rectangles in relation to the Raging Buffalo prospect, which is where we will be drilling as Oildigger Resources, which is outside of Moorcroft, Wyoming. Why is Oildigger Resources the right technical team to put this play together? Well, not only do we own and operate our own wells, we also consult for other operators as well. So you can see in this list just a litany of different operators, both in the Powder River Basin as well as other assets and other plays in the continental United States. We are actually actively managing a 6-well Turner program for 2 Powder River Basin clients as this video is being recorded. There are key highlights to this prospect area that I would like to review with you. First and foremost, we have existing production. We own and operate 6 vertical Turner wells. These wells have the Turner at significantly shallower depths than other areas of the basin. We're around 1/3 to 1/4 the depth of horizontal wells elsewhere in the basin. Our vertical wells have a very, very low water cut. We produce nearly 100% pure oil, significantly improving our recovery volumes and reducing expenses. Our management team has nearly 2 decades of experience completing and operating wells in the Powder. And this area has over 900 well logs where we can see the Turner, create great maps, and have a high degree of confidence when steering our well. All in, this leads to a very low projected break-even price. We think we can make these wells economic at wellhead prices of under $25 a barrel. I want to share a couple of videos with you that should get you just as excited as we are about drilling a horizontal well in this field. The first video, which I will explain to you before I play them because they're a little loud, is you're sitting on top of an oil tank. You can see production flowing into the tank. The unit is off. The wellhead is piped straight into the tank. There's no separators. There's no nothing. So there's no water separation equipment out on this site, and this is pure 40-degree oil being flowed right into the tank. In the second video, this is the Kimsey Ross number 2. It's actually the discovery well of the field. This is a 60-plus-year-old well flowing back a 4% column of KCl. So that's roughly a 0.45 psi per foot pressure gradient. And this is ahead of the recompletions that we did last year.
Go, shut it. Go, shut it.
I mentioned the recompletions. As part of our development process, we brought some new technology to these old fields. We wanted to implement modern completion volumes in these existing wells. The Cook Federal number 1 IP'd back in the mid-80s around 9 barrels a day. We did a recompletion in 2016 where we pumped a significant increase in the proppant loading, which resulted in a pretty substantial improvement in oil production. You can see we made about 1/3 of the production in 1/10 of the producing time with an IP of nearly 19 barrels a day with the recompletion, and this well is currently still making 3 to 4 barrels a day several years later. This validates 3 points that we wanted to prove. First of all, the ability to place modern proppant loading in these wells. We also got to see increased production from increased stimulated rock volume, as well as a lack of reservoir pressure depletion. We actually were able to hold a 3% KCl column was supported post-frac, not unlike the video that I just showed you. We were further able to improve our field performance by taking part of the 2020 Wyoming Energy Rebound Program, where we were able to recomplete 3 additional vertical wells out in our field. We also were able to perform a proppant tracer study as part of this project. Some of the results, we over 4x'd our total production. We were able to place twice the proppant load that we did in the initial recompletes, with each of these 3 wells receiving nearly 500,000 pounds of sand apiece. And we were able to gather some very valuable frac growth data that will kind of help us improve our completion design for this first horizontal well. The Oildigger 1TH will be a single-mile horizontal well located between 8 active vertical Turner producers. We will complete it with an 18-stage plug-and-perf completion with an estimated AFE cost of $2.75 million. We're seeking working interest partners with a minimum investment of $250,000 at a third for a quarter promote. We're projecting strong economics for the 1TH at a $65 a barrel flat oil price and an AFE of $2.75 million. We can show the medium case production scenario is expected to have a rate of return of 95% with 30-day IP of 723 barrels a day with an expected payback time of 8 months. Thanks again for taking the time to join me today. Please visit our website, www.mtoildiggers.com, for more information, and we look forward to seeing you at NAPE. Thanks.